One sentence tipped balance in that house. This is a core family. Let's begin our story today.
Hey, I'm Kenya, 29, a graphic designer in Austin, Texas. After 5 years of silence, my family called me back home. I thought it was a chance to reconnect, maybe even belong again. Instead, in our living room, my mother stared me down cold. She sneered and spat the words straight into my face. "Your job is shameful." My chest clenched, breath caught. Before I could answer, Marissa grabbed my wrist hard. She dragged me toward the door, whispering through her teeth, "You don't deserve to be here." The slam echoed behind me. But that wasn't even the worst part. 5 years earlier, it had already started falling apart in Willow Creek. I was 24, fresh from design school, chasing my first clients. When Mom called it a quick catch-up, I thought it meant family. We sat around the oak table, dinner heavy under the chandelier, steam rising from the roast. Dad scraped his fork in silence. Marissa glowed with Dwight's hand in hers. Pregnant, perfect, untouchable. And me, still the outlier with a laptop full of frivolous sketches. Then Mom leaned forward, eyes sharp. "Kenya, we've got a problem. Dwight owes $100,000. Her words cut sharper than the knife beside her plate. Marissa whispered, "It's not his fault. He's under too much stress." Mom's tone snapped like glass. "You're doing well. Wire the money. Keep it quiet. Family first." I froze. My fork hovered midair. "Mom, go to the police. This isn't safe." Her face hardened. "And air dirty laundry before the church? Never. Family handles family. Pay up or your sister's life collapses. You owe us for all your rebellion." Dad shifted but said nothing. Marissa's eyes filled. "Please, sis, just this once, for the baby." The please sliced through me. I shoved back from the chair, wood scraping the floor sharp. "If he's in that deep, it's worse than bets. And you all knew." She tugged her sleeve, a bruise flashing before I could ask. Mom slammed her hand down. "Enough questions. This is about loyalty, not your ideas. Pay up, or you're no daughter of mine." My voice shook but held. "I won't fund a lie, not ever." Her jaw clenched. "Then get out." Marissa half rose, torn between us, but Mom pulled her back down. "Let her go. She's chosen her path." Outside, the Texas night cut sharp. Stars cold above the house, silence pressing down hard. On the porch, Dad slipped me 600, eyes avoiding mine. His quiet rebellion barely covered gas, but it was all he dared. I drove back to Austin alone. Silence heavier than their rejection, and I thought walking away was the end of it. Back in Austin, I started with almost nothing. Just $600 Dad slipped me that night, and a borrowed couch. Days blurred into barista shifts at a crowded downtown coffee shop. Nights I hunched over a secondhand laptop, eyes burning in the glow. Dollar coffee fueled me. Ramen dinners, thrift store hoodies, a mattress on the floor. No frills, just grind. Each logo, each tiny website paid a little more rent. One rainy afternoon, the break I needed walked into the shop. Lena, a nonprofit founder, overheard me sketching ideas on napkins. She leaned over, curious. "Show me what you've got." I pulled up my cracked phone, palms sweating. She scrolled through my portfolio. Clean lines, bold colors, quiet strength. Her eyes lit. "You're hired. I need a full rebrand." That project screamed resilience without shouting. And word spread fast. Soon, women rebuilding after divorce, layoffs, trauma called my name. They didn't want stiff corporate designs. They wanted art that whispered, "You're unbreakable." I gave them exactly that. By year 2, I quit the coffee grind. My weekends filled with edits instead of espresso shots. Every dollar went back into my work. A better tablet, fresh business cards. My logo was simple, a key unlocking a door. Lena's site went viral in Survivor networks. 3 more clients came that month alone. That momentum carried me to a shared warehouse studio downtown. Printers hummed. Walls were covered in sketches, post-it notes, scraps of hope. That's where I met Tessa, a sharp lawyer, just finished a case on workplace harassment. She stayed late, venting over depositions while I refined her website. "You make survivors look unstoppable," she told me, scrolling the mock-ups. Our work overlapped. Her pro bono cases needed resources hidden behind empowering visuals. My designs gave women confidence to step forward, not hide. She became my sounding board. the one who truly understood. I poured myself into it. Series like Reclaim Your Mark won a regional award from Austin Collective. A rooftop ceremony, string lights swaying in the breeze. The plaque small, but proof I was building something real. Mom's birthday calls stayed short. Weather reports, church gossip, no mention of my wins. Marissa sent baby photos, vague miss you texts I left unread. Dad? Nothing at all. His silence louder than Mom's sharp words. I told myself I was fine. That distance meant healing. That success was enough to fill the hollow. But deep down, I knew family silence never lasts forever. 5 years passed before the phone lit with Mom's number. Her voicemail was clipped, almost rehearsed. Family meeting this weekend. Important. Come home. No details. No warmth. Just a summons. My gut screamed trap, but I still packed a bag. Marissa's last text, her toddler's blurry first steps, echoed in my head. 4 hours east, the flatlands blurred into church steeples and weathered billboards. By the time Willow Creek appeared, my chest was tight with dread. The house looked the same. White shutters, lemon cleaner scent, family portraits lining the hall. All of them stopped at my high school graduation. Nothing from the years after. We gathered around the table again. Dad methodical at the head. Mom passing rolls with artificial small talk about gas prices and rain. Marissa arrived late, her 2-year-old on her hip, smiled tired. When plates cleared, Mom set her mug down hard. Her eyes locked on mine. We didn't call you for small talk, Kenya. Dwight's in trouble again. Her voice was sharp enough to slice the air. 100,000 more. They'll ruin us all if we don't pay. Dad stared into his coffee, silent. Marissa bounced the boy, her face drawn tight. I leaned back. Like 5 years ago, you want me to fix it? Why drag me here? Mom's jaw set. Because you're the only one who can. Your agency's doing numbers now. Wire it. Family first. The boy dropped a cracker. Marissa shushed him, tugging her sleeve down. Habit too quick. But not quick enough. For a flash, I saw the bruise on her forearm. My pulse kicked. Family? You mean covering Dwight's mess again? Marissa, tell me, has he laid a hand on you? Her lips trembled. She whispered, please just pay. He'll change. For the baby. The boy toddled to her leg, tugging for attention. When she scooped him up, his sleeve slipped. A fresh red mark covered his tiny arm. Fingerprint-shaped. My breath caught. He hit the boy too. Marissa's tears spilled silent, clutching him tighter. I stared at Mom, rage boiling. She slammed her palm flat on the table. Enough, this stays in the family. Pay the debt or get out. We won't have your interference stirring dirt. Dad rose halfway, hand on her shoulder, but stayed mute. The room crackled with silence, broken only by the child's whimper. I grabbed my keys, voice like steel. Interference? No, this is called survival. Call me when you're ready for real help, not hush money. The door shut behind me with a thud. Night air cold, stars distant. Marissa's sobs muffled through the walls. I walked away, but the image of that bruise followed me. And I should have known. The worst was still ahead. The motel door stuck before slamming shut behind me. I dropped my bag, pulse still pounding from Mom's ultimatum. The bruise on the boy's arm burned in my mind. My phone glowed with one name. Tessa, the lawyer who had become my sounding board. She picked up on the first ring. Slow down, where are you safe? Motel off Main, I said, but it's worse. Dwight's hitting Marissa, and the child. I saw the marks. Her end went quiet, then keys clacked fast. Get evidence if she'll allow it. Photos, dates, anything. Texas laws have teeth here. CPS won't look away. A knock rattled the door. I froze. Peered through the peephole. Marissa, clutching her son, eyes swollen. I pulled her inside quick. She collapsed on the chair. The boy stirred in her arms. She rocked him gently, whispering, I couldn't stay there. Not after you left. Her sleeve slipped, bruises layering old and new. Tessa's voice came through speaker. Marissa, tell us everything. We'll map a safety plan. Tears streamed as she spoke. It started small, shoves, yells, then backhands. Last month he shook the baby when he cried too loud. My stomach twisted. Mom's words echoed. This stays in the family. Now I saw the cost of that silence. Marissa nodded when I lifted my phone. The flash captured every bruise, every faded mark on her arm. Even the child's tiny elbow, mottled where Dwight had gripped too hard. evidence that could no longer be denied. Tessa guided us step by step. Protective order by morning. Custody petition follows. Dwight's debts, illegal loans, can flip into leverage for charges. We documented every date, every incident, scribbled on motel notepads. By dawn, the plan was solid. We drove to the sheriff's office in the next town. Neutral ground, away from church eyes. Fluorescent lights buzzed as Marissa swore her statement. Photos printed, time-stamped. The deputy's pen scratched fast. Qualifies for ex parte order, serving today. By noon, Dwight was in cuffs at his bank job. Assault, child endangerment, felony charges stacking high. His bond set too high to touch, but it didn't end there. Mom called, voice shrill, almost breaking the speaker. "Kenya, where's Marissa? Dwight says you stole her. Fix this like last time. You're tearing us apart." Tessa mouthed, "Record." I hit save. Mom's confession spilled, covering for Dwight, denying abuse, fearing church shame. Her words sealed her fate as much as his. That afternoon, the civil suit hit. Accessory to concealment. Emotional distress damages. Dad cracked under oath, admitting he knew more than he told. Their empire of silence collapsed in depositions and courtrooms. Marissa clutched her protective order in trembling hands. Her son asleep in her lap, face peaceful for once. I squeezed her shoulder. This isn't revenge, it's survival. It's a new start. The motel felt less like exile now, more like a war room. Because for the first time I knew we weren't alone. And winning didn't feel like revenge. It felt like survival. 6 months passed before the dust began to settle. Dwight sat behind bars, his trial swift with no plea deals allowed. 3 years for child endangerment and assault. Prison photos showed hollow eyes, jumpsuit sagging loose. Marissa's divorce finalized clean. Full custody granted, her boy safe in a soft blue bedroom. Decals of trucks lined the walls, laughter replacing silence. Therapy twice a week gave her voice new steel. She moved near my studio, a short walk with a stroller. Her side gig illustrating children's books started to grow. For the first time in years, she breathed without fear. Mom's world collapsed fast. The civil judgment hit hard, $20,000 in damages plus fees. Church elders called meetings. Whispers turned to open shunning. No more choir, no more potlucks, no friendly smiles in pews. Her texts shifted from rage to pleading. "Help your mother." I blocked the number clean. Dad left her quietly, finally admitting what he'd ignored. His voicemails stumbled. "Proud of you, sorry I stood by." I listened once, deleted the rest. Meanwhile, my agency soared. The Reclaim Your Mark series caught national fire. Survivor-led businesses wanted branding that spoke power, not pity. We expanded into a full loft, exposed brick and long drafting tables. 2 new hires joined, clients lined up. One night in Dallas, a spotlight hit me on stage. A plaque heavy in my hands, proof I'd turned pain into purpose. Marissa stood in the crowd, her boy clapping in a tiny bow tie. "You did this," she said, hugging me after. We raised soda cans in the lobby, a toast to second chances. Looking back, silence wasn't loss. It was space. Space to grow without chains, without scripts written by others. Mom's choices caught her. Dwight's cage was his own. I didn't need revenge. I just needed freedom. And if you're listening, stuck in shadows of family betrayal, know this, you don't owe anyone your chains. Reach out. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. They'll listen. They'll help you build a plan that works. If my story echoes something in you, share it below. Because you're not alone. Not now, not ever.